Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at an original Xbox I got my hands on for free, and I'm actually surprised that this thing even works, so let's get into it. So here you go, we got the Xbox right here. This was given to me when I went to a game shop. It was going to be thrown away, and it was in really rough shape. And when I noticed, what I noticed about it was how bad it was going to be was the Ethernet port right here. This is a very heavy unit, so bear with me. Is corroded badly, and this port does work surprisingly. And the other tall tale sign was the ventilation here was corroded with dust. And you just put it down because I don't have screws in the case. The siding was corroded with a lot of dirt. You can actually still see some of it. I can't even get off. I went through a lot of cleaning this case, and I'm still trying to clean it. So when I got my hands on it, the only screws that were in it, let me put it down. The only screws that were in it was this one and this one. So I knew someone was in it at some point. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the inside and what works and what doesn't work. So let me set up and show you the inside. All right, now let me pop the lid off. And as you can see, the bottom of the inside here isn't too bad, but what is bad is the inside. If you guys seen my post with the pictures, so the only thing I have plugged in is the controller and video, but I'll show you the housing right here. As you can see, it is really bad on both sides. Get a little bit zoomed in. You can see right there, it's pretty bad. And to show you, let me just unplug the controller. You can see the pins in there are all intact, and there's a little bit of a shine, but it surprisingly, like I said, I tested it and it did work. The inside of the actual this part, the metal, is so bad. It is surprising that this thing even fires up, mainly because of the power supply being on this side. So I'm going to tear it down to how I have it set up for testing. I needed to get a controller, and surprisingly the controller I got is pretty good. It's an aftermarket one, brand new, and I actually love it. The green is pretty cool. And before we get into it, I do want to say, being a PlayStation user, the start and select, I guess it would be, I forget what it is on Xbox, if it is start and select. It actually makes sense right here. So like if you were a PlayStation user, these would be your analog sticks. And if you needed to use these, it makes sense there instead of coming over here. So I'm kind of surprised that this didn't stay, at least even on the Xbox, because I like that right there, especially with the smaller controller. As you can see right here, the fan was the culprit on not firing up. So what I do is, for the time being, I've been using my Delta fans. I used these in my Power Mac G5 mod when I used that case for my gaming PC. So these are wired together, and that's how I've been getting away with testing, because I don't want this to overheat. I have thermal paste on both. New paste, I have Noctua. I have Noctua thermal paste. The inside of the motherboard was caked with dust, and even to the point where I actually had to use a toothbrush, and I even went the route with the soap and water and just lightly going over it, and then giving both components here an alcohol bath. All right, I have everything set up. I put Forza in first. This game and the classic Rainbow Six Rogue Spear generation. These two, I noticed there was some buffering, more so with Rainbow Six, and after I gave the laser a little bit better cleaning, and then seeing if there was any moisture built up. I gave it a little bit more of a drying, and it does read discs better. So I'm going to show you it in operation. I have another camera going, and I do apologize for the setup. It is not the best, but I do like to document as much as I can and show you. As you can see, I have a fan right here, and I do have a fan underneath. So bear with me. These are Delta fans. Without the PWM, I cannot control the speed, so they're going to be full bore. So let's get into it. All right. And this is composite cables. I do not have myself a pair of component. If this does work well, like I said, I'll buy the fan and then maybe component cables. I'm lucky to own a CRT, so I could even keep this fully retro if I wanted to and play it with the CRT monitor. I wanted to show you before we hop into the game is there is saves on here, and the dates are surprising because, as you can see right here, this one says 2001 and this one does as well. This is my first experience with fully seeing the original Xbox. I had one years ago and I was trying to service it and it didn't go well, sadly. This one is my game save, so you can see it says 2024. This one right here says 2001 again. I don't own Ghost Recon, but a few of the games I do own, I can see what the save data and everything looks like with what they accumulated with their save data. 2002, 2001 for Halo. That's kind of funny. This game, I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. I think I remember Hunter, but other than that, you know, again, 2001, 2001, no saves on them. 2001. I do own this game, so trying this one out to see what the saves look like would be interesting. This one's mine. I don't know if you saw that save data name. This one again, 2001, 2002, with some funny saves. 2002. So everything seems to be 2001 and 2002. And then there's some music on here. I don't know if it came with it. I don't know how they put it on here. Let alone, I don't know how you would get it off. So with that, I have the disc, as you can see, partially in frame. And surprisingly, because I do have a Retro Tank 5X, the composite doesn't look too bad on here. So I'm actually surprised how well it does come off this 4K monitor. You can see right there, loads up. I think it might be in A. Oh no, that's not A. I mean, I do like this Porsche, but I wanted the Boxster. I'm a big fan of the 996 era. Let's do the light blue. Alright. So weird using a controller for a racing game. Feels a little bit alien. I don't know why I'm breaking there. Usually you don't have to. You can see the frame rate looks pretty good. And this game, I remember when I hooked it up on my 360, I was impressed for a game because I believe this came out in 2005. Oh, yep, there we go. And we hit. I don't have any damage, right? Still looks good. And another thing too, I mean, it is mid-2000s. Even some PS2 racing games, like I have a few sprint car games that have really nice physics for their age. You know, PlayStation 2 and Xbox are, you know, you can find definite gems in that generation for modern feel that it doesn't feel too clunky. So Forza definitely was ahead of its time, I think, when it came to racing games for the feel. I'm more of a Gran Turismo fan, though Gran Turismo 3 and 4 are totally different feeling games. And then when this came out, it felt so different that I don't know if you can really compare the two. Already looking better. This turn, it just feels so weird through that turn. That S turn is always fun, and right around here too. Yeah, this feels so weird, but I did better on my second lap, which definitely matters. This game came out, I believe, in 2003, and I was even shocked because I'm used to the PC version of this game, and it does surprisingly well with the visuals because this was that age where the Rogue Spear generation got a little bit more sophisticated with the visuals, and then by then you had Lockdown, I think it was called, and then Vegas 2. Like, things were coming up when it came to the visual department with this game. I missed this era, the Rogue Spear games, or generation I should say, so 98 to 2003 were definitely really cool. I'll just show you a little bit of this because I'm not very good with the controller with this game. It feels really weird. So you can see right here, kind of stiff feeling for me. I have it pretty high. I think I have the settings at 8s. But comparing this to the PC version, I can definitely see a difference. It's definitely lower, but it does run well. These Rogue Spear generation rainbowsix games aren't too bad when it comes to hardware. You don't really need that much. So stiff. And I always like this game when you have, I don't know if it works in here, but on mouse and keyboard, there's a function where you can use the scroll wheel and peek through the door, like you can see it open slowly instead of just door open and close. That was, I think, brought into this generation. Oh crap, that guy's not dead? It's so hard. This kind of reminds me of America's Army. I do have that one, the original Xbox. And the controls were a little bit like this, kind of stiff with mainly the camera. As you can see, because it has to do like the auto aim and other things with controller support, they kind of have to give it more of an aid because it would just not really run well. The Rogue Spear generation is the quintessential best, in my opinion, tactical shooter. Not easy. This one is difficult, especially on the PC. They have a few missions, I don't know if they're in this game, where you have to be stealth. And there's a girl, I think she's a sniper, I always used because of her ability to be pretty much dead silent. And her accuracy, like, so I would use her mainly through the whole game. And also too, with this game, just like the other ones, when a character dies, you can't use them in the later part of the game, period. They're dead. He threw a grenade. Oh god. Come on, reload. And as you can hear, the disc spin, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't seem unusual. Oh, we got a little bit of a buffer there. I don't know if that was just loading something different. That guy, let's see if he does it. You're not gonna go up? That one looked good too. Alright, I think I showed you enough with Rainbow Six. And as you can see, like I said, the games run. I think it's safe to say that this system is fully functional. It just has a lot of wear. And unfortunate, things like this happen. And I do wish more people would take care of these older systems. So here's an overhead shot with the drives out so you can see. Best as possible, because I would have to rip the board out to give you a better view, but just to show you guys, power supply. I think this one might be a little bulged. I don't know. It doesn't look like it could be. Maybe it's just the shape of it. I don't know if that's dirt still or corrosion, but this thing still works. I did an alcohol bath with this, and I think I might want to do another one just to be sure that it is clean, because the board itself, a lot of the dirt was still on it. Even on here, you can see certain areas there was a lot of dirt. With that, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you in the next one.